How's it going, bros? My name is PewDiePie. No? No, that didn't work out for you? No? All right. How about this one? Hello, everybody. My name is Markiplier, and welcome back to it. No? You don't like that either? Okay. We'll figure it out. What's up? It's Chris, the Drone Geek, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk Drones, or should I say, Let's Play Drones. Yeah, I didn't want to do a separate intro and branding and everything like that for this type of video because I don't know how much content or how much you're gonna like it. I don't know what this is gonna be. So we're just going to make it a part of Let's Talk Drones for now, and then down the road, if we decide we don't want it to be a part of that, and we want it to be its own thing, we'll take care of it. Regardless, today, we're going to be playing the popular FPV-style racing game, Liftoff. Okay, so you might have heard of this before. It's basically a drone flying simulator, like an FPV drone flying simulator. So you're not flying like your Phantoms, your Mavics, you're flying actual FPV, racing, Cinewoop, all sorts of different manual style drones. And the reason that I wanted to do this was twofold. First of all, I've had this game for a year now. When I started flying the DJI FPV, I thought, oh, I'm gonna get outside of just the practice app that they have available for that, the DJI virtual flight app. I'm gonna actually go and see what else they have out there. I found Liftoff, downloaded it, practiced a little bit, but didn't really get into it because it didn't do a great job at mimicking the flight characteristics of the DJI FPV. But now I recently purchased the GEPRC. It is GEP, not GEP. At least that's how Bardwell says it. And if Bardwell says it, well, it must be right. So the GEPRC CineLog 35 Cinewoop drone, just recently purchased that, and there's been a learning curve. I mean, that's really what it's been. I've taken it out twice, and both times have been just massive failures. Part of that has to do with some stuff that I didn't have tuned quite right in beta flight. I'm still figuring all of that out. We'll do some videos on that as well, but I wanted to jump into this and do a Let's Play of Liftoff. If you've never played this before, I've got a link down in the description where you can go and download this game. You will need Steam, as far as I'm aware, to actually purchase and download it. I think it's only like 20 bucks, but when you consider you can get a lot of different reps and practice for 20 bucks with Liftoff versus, replacing parts and possibly entire drones over and over and over again, the cost makes sense. So I would definitely recommend it. So you'll see here that we have Liftoff opened up. And to start, we're just gonna do a free flight. I don't know if we'll do anything crazier. Oh, before we get started though, so you can use the DJI FPV controller version 1 for interfacing with this. You just have to plug it in via USB-C to your PC or whatever machine you're using to play Liftoff. And then the big thing is, no matter if you're using this remote or a different remote, you always want to power it on, because otherwise it just starts to charge it, and you'll hear there my computer just picked up the remote. If it's not turned on, sorry, the computer keeps interrupting me. If it's not turned on, it won't actually pick up input from the remote controller. So super important you have this turned on. It's getting all started up, everything like that, but I just wanted to do that on camera for you so you could see. I don't know how many times when I first got started with interfacing my FPV remote with my desktop computer, how many times I sat there and just struggled to figure out what the heck is going on. Now, you will have to configure your controller to your setup, and there's a few steps you have to go through on that. That's not what today is about, so we'll get into that maybe in a different video. Today we are just getting into the meat of the video to see if this is something that you might be interested in. So we'll go to free flight. I'm using my mouse to interface with this part of the game. Click on play. The loading screens, they're not too terribly bad. So we have quite a few here. We'll go to my favorite, which is probably the Hangar CO3. Let's press play. We'll go ahead and start with no track. So you can do a bunch of different stuff. You can also get in here and download different versions of different drones. They don't have them all logged. Now, some very popular like Emacs and iFlight and Tiny Hawk and the Bumblebee drones, like some of them are already programmed in here. But other ones that aren't, there's a big creator community behind this, and you can find just about any manual style drone in the library of community downloads. I actually was able to find somebody that tuned an FPV drone. This is not what the CineLog 35 looks like, obviously. This is more of a freestyle drone. But somebody tuned this drone to fly more consistently like the CineLog 35. It's not an exact one-to-one, but it's pretty darn close. So I downloaded it, and that's what I used to practice virtually here. So we'll go ahead and click on that to get started, and we will get into it. Now, big thing here, I'm not gonna have a camera pointed at my hands to show you what I'm doing. I'm using the pinch method. That's how I always fly, whether it's GPS drone, freestyle drone, whatever. I always fly with the pinch method. But here we go. You'll see we have to arm the motors. So in order to do that on Liftoff, you actually have to pull the throttle or the thrust stick down, the throttle stick down, and that will then arm the motors. You might have it set up differently on your actual real-time flight, which that's completely out the window on this. So we'll go ahead. I'm gonna actually turn the speakers down so I don't get feedback on this. All right, and we're off. And you'll see you start in various locations, but I'm just gonna ease my way out. We'll go through the two, I don't know if these are hangars or what, they can't be hangars, it's a shipping dock. So, but yeah, I mean, it's really slick, the way that you fly, everything that goes into this. I mean, like I said, I've got a little bit of background with the DJI FPV, so I'm not coming in here totally blind. I do know some characteristics of like freestyle flight, but I am by no means like good at this or an expert or anything like that, not even close to an expert. But it's just sort of a fun way, low risk way to get acclimated with freestyle flight. And it's not, like I said, it's not perfect. It's certainly not perfect. There are definitely some things that could be changed to make it more realistic. One thing that I noticed in this app is that like battery sag isn't a thing. Well, it can be, but it's not really true to form, at least not that I've found. Like when you're trying to do a stunt, not that I would try to do a stunt with the CineLog, just not built for that. But if I wanted to do a stunt, there is a little bit of battery sag, but it's not enough for me to go, oh, that's really what it would feel like. It does sort of move freely and is a little untrue in the battery power that's put out. So, but you'll see here, like we can do all sorts of different types of stuff. Of course, I live on a road that very infrequently has traffic on it, but when it does have traffic, it always seems to be when I'm recording, and it always seems to be the world's loudest motorcycle. So I don't even know if you heard that, but it really threw me off there. So, all right, we'll go ahead and, like, here's an example of how creative you can get with this. We can go ahead and shoot, well, or not. See, now in the lower right-hand corner, I caused damage to my propellers. You'll see that the propellers are indicating there was damage to the front, too, because I just sort of dinged that shipping container. And now what I do like that is realistic is the flight is affected based upon the type of damage the propellers took. So you'll see if I give a lot of throttle, there's a lot of, like, it pulls left. There's a lot of jello, a lot of shaking, and that's because the propellers are all dinged up. So you sort of have to change the way that you fly. Now, I wouldn't recommend doing that. I usually, once I damage my propellers, I usually just go ahead and crash it or just restart manually, which you can do by pressing the escape button, and then you can go ahead and press reset. We'll do that now. And the reason being is I'm so new. Now, somebody that's more experienced, I suppose you can get away with that and just sort of making your flight work, but I'm still so new. I don't want any kind of stunting in my flight to throw off how I fly. There we go, there's another one. There's a great example. Throw off how I fly. So I don't want to develop bad habits as a pilot by flying with broken propellers. I think that's sort of silly, especially for somebody in my position who's relatively new to flying a drone like this. So we'll go ahead, we'll come back out, and let's go ahead and try that move again to go up that shipping container. You know, I was really inspired to do this video for two reasons. One was because of the addition of the GEPRC to my fleet. I was really excited about that, and then learning just how much I had to learn about flying Cinewhoop and tuning a drone like the GEPRC and using Betaflight, I realized just how far behind the curve I actually was. So that's part of the reason I wanted to bring you along on the journey of me learning to fly this thing. Barely made it out. Okay. I'm one of those people that when I'm playing a game, I move with the screen or my character, whatever. So, but the other reason was, you know, I've always... And this channel's not going to turn into a gaming channel. I may at some point start a gaming channel for myself. I already dinged up the propellers. But this is certainly not going to turn into a gaming channel by any stretch. But I've always been inspired by guys like PewDiePie. And, you know, I watched him from the time that he wasn't really mainstream, not to be one of those guys where it's like, oh, I watched him before he was cool. But I think that journey is just so neat. And I can't say that I've always wanted to be a YouTuber or that I dreamed of being a YouTuber. But, you know, here I am trying to be one. And it's just, they're really, like, PewDiePie's a really inspiring story. Same with Markiplier. You know, Markiplier's another guy that I really look up to in the YouTube community. Yeah, they're not drone guys, but they, you know, definitely are a bar. They're definitely a format that I like to try to chase because they just got it down. They know what to do, man, and they're just so personable. I love everything about them. So those two things combined, I thought, let's go ahead and give this a try. I think that my audience would find it beneficial to know about Liftoff if they don't already, and then might find it even more beneficial to see Liftoff in action. See Liftoff in action. Before they go out and buy it. Now, again, the investment isn't really that big. It's like $20 or something like that. So when you consider that or crashing your drone a ton out in the wild, you know, I'd take this to learn how to fly every single day. But before you make that investment, no matter how big or small that is to you, it's worthwhile seeing somebody play it so that you can see what it's like, how the feel is, you know, everything like that. So... yeah, so I've sort of flown around the hangar here. You've gotten an idea of what it looks like, the feel, the gameplay, how everything's configured, you know, just from a HUD standpoint. You can see you've got, you know, your battery indicator, which doesn't, you can set it so it matters in this game. So like you only have so much time and your battery runs out. I don't do that just because I'm trying to get in as many reps as I can and get in as much practice as I can. But you can see your altitude, you can see your speed. You can see that, you know, your different flying modes. Now for this drone, acro is the only way that we can go. I know that you can fly angle and horizon on the GEPRC CineLog 35. At least I'm fairly certain of that. But, you know, there's, like I said, there are things that make it not a perfect one-to-one experience. But it's close. It's very, very close. So, okay, we've gone around, we've flown like this. Now let's go ahead and try a feature that I haven't really played with very much because I'm really afraid to face my own inexperience, my own novice. And that's to select a level with a track on it, and we'll try to follow the track as best we can. Okay, so we selected Short Circuit as our new level. That's what we're doing. It's like basically an F1, a Formula 1 racing track, and it's short circuit track. And we have selected an actual path that we're going to follow, an actual drone path that we're going to follow, and it'll be marked here on the screen as I'm flying. So we'll go ahead and actually, will it be marked, or is it going to just make me follow the course? Because the name of this track is pole position. So I guess we'll fly and see. Yeah, there's two of the indicators that we need to stay here. The flag's on the outside. That's letting me know where to go. And you can see I'm not real fast with it. It's because I'm not that good. So I'm still learning how to really time my turns and make it make sense. I'm definitely nowhere near being a drone racer at this point. But I just do my best, and this is a great way to practice. I watched a YouTuber one time who was talking about how to fly FPV and how to learn for a beginner. And he gave some pretty sound advice that I will say rings true, and it helped me take a step up in my abilities. He said, you know, the first thing you should do as a manual style pilot is learn to fly just keeping your horizon level and in a straight line as low to the ground as you can. I mean, obviously you don't want to get too low, but the better you get at that, the better feel you get for your throttle and the way that your sticks work together. And like you get a better feel for your home position, which is where you want to keep the drone when you want to level things out and you know, keep things under control without doing anything real crazy. So I've tried to really focus on that when I am flying, keeping my drone. See, I didn't do a great job there. Keeping my drone in a position where you know, I know that there's nothing crazy that's going to happen. I'm not going to turn around and run into something. I'm going to be on the straight and narrow and keeping it, you know, going the way it needs to go. Now, I will say this is the first time I've ever gone through one of these courses, knock on wood, and I haven't crashed almost immediately. Oh, there we go. I jinxed myself a little. The drone touching the ground was its way of telling me, hey, shut the hell up. You're not even done yet. Oh, yep, and things get real dicey towards the end. Let's go back to home. Let's go back to home. There we go. Okay, yeah, we're back on track. Now I'm in good position. So you can see that they have a variety of different ways that you can fly. And I'm going to go ahead, actually, and let's switch the course on this. Let's see, level selection. Let's do overpass. Let's really kick it up a notch. So it'll reload the whole level because obviously, like with the new course, it's going to have different markers, different places. So it's actually its own independent level. So it needs to load up. But this is just a reminder, if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. It helps me out a lot. And if you like this video so far, hit that like button too. That also helps me out quite a bit. So we'll go ahead, we'll get taken off here. And I don't know what I'm doing yet. I can see the arrows, so we'll go ahead and give this the best shot that we've got here. Okay, come up through here, it looks like. Oh, this is like a little off-road. Woo. And I have noticed that if you fly through foliage, like the leaves in the trees, no matter how big or small the trees are, ooh, I want to go this way. Nope, okay, gotta restart, damn it, okay. And if you get stuck like this, if you just push your throttle up and then push it down, it just restarts you automatically. But I have noticed that when you're flying, if you fly through foliage of any capacity, big, small, whatever, and it still doesn't wreck your drone, it will cause minor damage to your propellers, which doesn't greatly affect the flight characteristics of the drone. I mean, you will notice a little difference, but I usually keep flying through that, even though it shows damage to the propellers. That's not going to affect the flight in such a way that I won't be able to fly by the book or, you know, in the correct fashion. So come down the hallway, we'll turn it out. Oh, we're going over a bridge here. I guess that's the name of the course. Okay, there's one. And that's the thing that I'm having trouble with. And if anybody has any suggestions for how to fix that, oh boy, I lost where the track is. At least I think I did. Let's go back and look for the track. The thing that I have trouble with is I'll get going and then I'll make like a turn, okay? And when I make the turn, then my drone is like facing straight, but it seems like it's like off to the right or off to the left a little bit. And then I end up like over reading. Oh, I see where it wanted me to go. It wanted me to fly this like real tight gap here. Let's see if we can get there. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, 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 no damage. Sweet. But yeah, then it's hard for me to get like back on the straight and narrow. Even though it looks like my drone is level and everything's okay, I'll pull left or right because it's like faced ever so slightly to the left or to the right. Now, I don't know if I'm supposed to jump this. Yeah, I am. And then, woo! And we're back to the no, we're not back to the beginning. We have a little bit more to go. Here's another bridge. Whoop. 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 Ah, damn it. There it goes. Yep, that's it. Okay. Well, it is what it is. We got pretty far through that. I got to say, I'm kind of impressed with myself at how well I did on that one. I think it's just like being able to talk, because when I'm sitting here by myself and I'm not speaking, but I'm playing it just to get the chops in, I don't tend to do as well. So maybe it's me talking to you. Now you'll see there I did a little damage to my drone, but it didn't really change the color of the propellers, which means there's no actual damage. I just hit something, which was those leaves. So come through here again. But yeah, that's the big thing. If anybody has any tips for how to correct tilt on the drone when I turn, that would be greatly appreciated. What I should be thinking about when I come out of those turns and I'm trying to right the ship again and straighten things out. Now, I want to come through here a little cleaner than I did last time, which obviously is not going to happen as soon as I say it. All right, we're going to give this one more shot. One more shot. All right, here we go. Mega powers activate. I'm drawing all of my energy from the FPV gods now. Let's make this happen. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I've got some jobs coming up that will require me to fly the GEPRC indoors, and I'm a little nervous about it. It's not like I'm gonna just go, God, I don't want to cut myself short. There we go. That's a pretty good compromise. Okay, that's a good compromise. Okay. Yeah. Oh, I missed this completely. I just went right around the building. I gotta go up this thing. Oh, son of a bitch. All right, one more time. I didn't realize I missed that turn. So let me, now that I've got that in mind and I know that's where I need to go, let's do that again. I've got some jobs coming up that are going to require me to fly the GEPRC inside. Now, where I'm flying it, I'm not going to disclose the actual location or the client yet, but where I'm flying it is a pretty open area overall. So I'm not super worried about it. What I'm worried about, and this is the honest truth, is flying it from the outside in. That's going to be potentially problematic. I don't want to say I've never done that before. I've done it one time before with the DJI FPV. I did not have it in manual mode. I had it in sport mode, so it had some characteristics of FPV flight. The sport mode's not like a true like GPS style sport mode. It is a little looser on the handling. It's a little more true. I'm just going to go over this because I want to hit this stairwell before we end the video. But it really didn't test my manual piloting skills. And like, this is the kind of stuff right here. Yep, there I go. Okay, one more time. I mean it this time. This is it. One more time. I want to hit that a little bit better. But yeah, I'm a little nervous about where I'm going to be flying at. I'll be fine. I've got lots of other solutions if the FPV style doesn't work out, but man, it'd be really cool just to make sure that works and to do the best that I can possibly do with it. Oh man, my nose itches too. That's another problem here. So let's hit the tunnel, hit the tunnel, hit the tunnel. Yeah, there we go. Too fast. I'm going too fast. I'm also trying to get the hang of that. I want to be able to go fast for certain types of shots, but like I really, for a lot of the flying I'm going to do with the GEPRC, I really don't need to go super fast. Oh, okay. Up, up, up. There we go. All right, let's go over the truck. Like I said, I'm not really concerned about hitting that. I've done it twice already. Oh, God damn it. All right, one more time. I got to hit the staircase. Maybe we'll just skip to that. I've already done the front of the track several times. Okay, there we go. Now we're going to get respawned. All right, yeah, we're just going to skip over to that. I don't want to waste a ton of time trying to get through that part of the thing every time. So let's do this. Okay, so here we go. Let's lower it. 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 We want to go slow, slow, slow. Oop, oop, oop. Oop, 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 oop. I gotta give a guess. Gotta give a guess. Okay, that wasn't too bad. I got a little damage on my right side, but I don't think it's anything that I need to really worry about too much. Okay, yeah, I gotta stop being such a puss about it. I just gotta give it a little gas up through here, up, and then we'll go. Whoop. Good enough. Good enough for now. That was challenging. See, and this is what I like about this particular type of that was a shortcut. I didn't miss it last time. It was just a shortcut. But that's what I like about this particular game is like you can do the free flight and just sort of get the hang of the controls, and you don't have any pressure to follow a course. You don't have any pressure here either. I mean, it's not making me do anything. It's just suggesting like, hey, if you want to try this course, this is a great way to go. The propellers on the back end are all jacked up, so this is a little easier said than done. But yeah, I mean, this is what I like about it, is that it gives you a real outlet to challenge yourself as far as like freestyle flight goes. So that's going to do it for today's video. If you liked this video, hit that thumbs up button down below. It helps me out a lot, gets this video out into the algorithm, and gets more people like you to watch it. So somebody that might be wondering, how do I get started in FPV? I don't want to spend all this money and then just crash and ruin the drone. This gives them an opportunity to find solutions that you've stumbled upon too. Also, if you really like this video, you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Helps me out tremendously. A lot of you watching this aren't actually subscribed to my YouTube channel, which sucks. Just help me out, man. Just get on, hit the subscribe button. It's one small click for you, but it means a lot to me in terms of user retention, watch time, all the stuff that helps me monetize this channel. And once we start monetizing this channel, that's when the real fun begins, because I can start to reinvest that money and start to do things that are a little bit more outside the box without the fear of dipping into my own personal bank account all the freaking time. So, second reminder, hit that subscribe button. If you really like drone content, drone related content, content shot by drones, hit that bell icon too after you subscribe. It'll give you a notification every time I post a new video, so you can be one of the first people to watch it. It's pretty cool. Till next time, I'm Chris, the Drone Geek, and I am out of here.